Welcome back to the Dunwoody Dialogues. I'm Mark Galvin, your host, and this show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. What is Discover Dunwoody? We are the destination marketing organization for the city of Dunwoody, the official destination marketing organization, which means we're funded through a hotel tax. So everybody that comes to stay in Dunwoody has a tax they put on that they have to pay, and we get a portion of that. We actually get 3.5% of that, and that funds our ability to do shows like this and put out advertising and such to bring people into Dunwoody. We're looking for people to stay in our hotels, eat in our restaurants, shop at our shops. So we are the official spot, which means we cost nothing, and all we want to do is serve our community better. What are we going to do today? We're going to talk about security. We have an expert in the office. He is a true Atlanta industry veteran with 35 years of experience protecting homes and businesses and communities. What's interesting, he is a Georgia native, which, by the way, so am I. So he and I were able to talk about being natives in Atlanta, and we are both very rare people. As a matter of fact, this is a collector's item. If you're watching this, you should record it, because you'll never see another one of these shows again where you have two Georgia natives in one spot. He started off as a director of sales with Ackerman Security, and now he's the general manager at Alert 360, which is the fourth, and I did not know this. They are the fourth largest security provider in the U.S., and they have only 460,000 customers. He has seen the security landscape change dramatically, absolutely unbelievable. So we're so thrilled that he's here today because he's going to talk about some of these things. He's going to talk about residential and commercial security. We're going to get into video surveillance and access control. I didn't know what that meant. As soon as he tells you what that means, it's going to make total sense. So how do we get connected with our guest today? He is a member of the Greater Perimeter Chamber of Commerce as an ambassador, and he used to be a Dunwoody Police Department Citizens Patrol volunteer. After all that, help me welcome Matt Harvey to the Dunwoody Dialogues. Matt, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Good to see you, man.
Absolutely.
You are you're a guy that's in a space that's very interesting because everybody needs security, but they don't want to know they need security, right?
Everybody needs security, and that's and I think a lot of times, and we live in a great community. We know that,
100%.
And people feel secure, but you never want to be complacent.
That's right.
You always want to be vigilant when it comes to the security of your home or your business.
That's good. Absolutely. So you've been in this space for 35 years. Why security? How do you end up in a role like this?
So I'm a second generation security guy.
Really?
My dad started dragging me along to wirehouses when I was about 8 or 9 years old, which
my goodness.
When you're 8 or 9, crawling around in a crawl space, really cool.
That is so much fun.
Yeah, when you're 50, not cool at all. So, so I've been in security pretty much my entire life.
That is really
actually started my own company. Right when I got out of high school, I actually started an installation company, and while I was going to college, I had about 4 guys doing installs for me. So I would set the jobs out, and they'd go install. I'd go to class, and yeah.
That is amazing. So this is, I mean, there's not many people that start in the same industry, and you just let the cat out of the bag. You said you're 50, so not many people reach 50 and actually stay in the same space the whole time. That's impressive.
Yeah, I mean, it's, when you find something you're passionate about, and I think that's a lot of it, is you really have to enjoy what you do. And
cool.
And I am, as I talk to people, and the more I share about what the industry is and how it's evolved and how it's changed and how we serve so many people and really fix those pain points, and it's very satisfying, realistically, and I love the industry.
That is cool. All right, so there are a few players in the space, right? Some of us have heard some of those folks in that space. What sets Alert 360 apart from those other folks that are out there?
Sure. There's a few things. One, owning and operating our own 5-diamond certified monitoring facility. A lot of companies don't invest in their own monitoring facilities, so they're using a third party.
Okay.
which is so their customers aren't being served by the company.
Wait a minute. So are you saying that sometimes there are security companies where people are monitoring in the Philippines, maybe?
I don't know. It could be. It could
Yeah,
be. I know
yeah.
there are a lot of companies. The majority of companies actually are outsourcing their monitoring to third-party companies domestically. So because it's expensive. I
Sure
mean,
it is.
expensive to because if you think about our central station personnel, they're responding to 2.4 million alarm calls a month.
Wow.
And we have an average response time of 19 seconds. So to staff a monitoring facility to be able to handle that volume that efficiently, that's not cheap.
No.
And it's
No.
not easy. So
And it's highly complex
yeah,
because they're dealing with multiple jurisdictions and such.
exactly. So owning and operating our own monitoring facility sets us apart. And what I can say is for specifically Atlanta is we have about 12,000 customers here that I'm responsible for in Metro Atlanta, and I really feel like those are my customers.
Nice.
And I have a great team that have all been in the industry for over 20, 30 years that work with me in my branch, and everybody has that same commitment to taking care of our customers like they're our they were our customer individually, our family.
I love that. All right. You talked about monitoring video, and I'm really curious, what's the difference between professionally monitored video, and I'm trying to think of another way to put it, but I think that's probably the best way to say that. What's the difference between a real good, yours, your monitoring service, and other services that are out there?
So we've all seen we've all seen the video on the news of the business that got broken into, and they share the video of the guy who stole the whatever at the store, and
Yeah.
it's a blurry picture of a guy in a blue shirt. Yeah, okay, that's what are the police going to do with that? Not
Right.
much of anything.
Right.
So having a up-to-date, professionally installed video surveillance system, very important. But beyond that, just having video, having cameras is a reactive technology. It's reactive security because that is you come into work the next day, you come into your office and somebody's jumped the fence, they've stolen the catalytic converters off of your work vehicles. They've cut a hole in the back of your building and stole stock.
Yeah, the cost is already, I mean, the damage is done.
It's done.
Right?
It's done. And okay, so even if you have a really good video surveillance system, which you can, you're seeing something that happened in the past. And, if the guy, even if you have really good video, you got a video of a guy with his shirt pulled up to here and his hat pulled up to here, and there's not a whole
That's a
lot
good
there.
point.
Yeah. So
I think those are masks, right?
Yes.
The COVID masks are still a thing, right?
Exactly, yeah. So we have a technology called Video Shield, and what that does is allows our operators to actually video monitor our sites. So when that person is walking up to the the yard at 3 in the morning and there's nobody supposed to be there, our operators are watching them. So we have some fantastic videos on alert360.com or our YouTube. Some great videos of our operators are watching these guys jump over in a shipping yard, jump over the fence in the shipping yard. They're watching them through the entire thing, and they're on the phone with the authorities the whole time.
Wow.
And they're telling the police, okay, we have 2 people. One's in a yellow shirt, the other one's here. When the authorities actually pull into the site, they're talking the police into where the people are. So they're saying, okay, the yellow shirt guy is under the blue truck. The other guy is here. So our operators are actually watching real time and telling the authorities where the intruders are.
So I'm a skeptic,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I sit back and think, okay, you've got 12,000 properties you're monitoring in Atlanta. You don't have 12,000 employees monitoring 12,000 cameras. how does that technology work?
So to be clear, not all of our customers have the video.
Okay,
shield
all right,
technology.
that's a good point. All
Yeah,
right.
that is
No, it's a higher level.
That
Okay,
is
go
a
ahead.
higher level security. That is a higher level security. And the way that works actually is there's a lot of AI and analytics that go into that.
Okay.
So with the surveillance cameras, they know, okay, this is a person, this is a vehicle, this is an animal. So with the analytics and the built-in AI, we know, where this person is walking. Are they walking on the sidewalk? That's fine. Are they walking up to the door? Okay, well, are they walking up to the door to read the hours? Maybe.
Sure.
Are they walking up to the door with a big brick that they're about to throw through there? Okay, we probably ought to
Hello.
go ahead and call the police now before they even throw the brick through the window.
Yeah.
So-
All right, good. Yeah, and that makes great sense. I have a camera in my backyard, and I get to see the coyotes running back and forth. But it is reactive. I get up the next morning or on the weekends, I'll page through the entire week to see how many coyotes I've had this in the week. But they're not there's no live monitoring, and I love that. And that makes good sense to me because there are technologies to make you guys more efficient. So it works.
Yeah, and if we've got a site that we have one of our mobile surveillance units at now that they had construction site and someone broke in and stole all the copper out of it. So if you think about, and the copper expense is the smallest part of that.
Right.
It's the labor and the timeline. You've pushed back the entire construction timeline now because somebody's broken in and stolen the copper out. Your opportunity cost of that business is now, instead of opening in December, they're going to open in February. So being
My gosh, this whole copper thing is astounding to me.
Yeah. So now that we have a mobile surveillance unit there, it's anybody steps foot on the property between 8 p.m. 6 a.m. You're
notified.
We are. Our operators are watching them. They're yelling at them through the speaker. You're in a restricted area. Go away.
Wow.
Stop it before it happens.
And so this mobile unit you're talking about, I think I've seen these. I pull into a parking lot and there's it's kind of like a trailer with a box on it and a pipe.
That's the one.
Right, that goes up high, and it looks like the camera. Do those cameras move, or are they static?
Ours move.
Okay.
Ours move. There are different manufacturers on those. So if you see ours are a white trailer, and the flashing light is green. Those are the Alert 360 units. And ours have 4 cameras on them that are pan, tilt, zoom. So our operators can move those around, follow someone through a site as they're moving through, and keep an eye on them. And as they move 360 degrees, they can continuously follow them around a site. We've got a solar farm out east of Atlanta. It's 1,500 acres of solar panels.
1,500 acres.
1,500 acres of solar panels. Yeah, and it's and we've got mobile surveillance units out there because it's not an active site where people are at. It's a solar farm, and that's infrastructure stuff. You get somebody out that's out there with a spray can and wants to vandalize that. That's a big deal. So we have the surveillance units. So if anybody's inside the fence, they can dispatch the authorities. They can yell at them through the speaker, tell them to go away, and once they know that somebody's watching them, they leave.
That is incredible. Yeah, there are probably a few teenagers in the world that would probably think that sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I was never there. I was never a teenager. Well, let's shift gears. Let's talk about access control technology. I mentioned this in the intro. You and I talked about it briefly. What is access control technology and how's it changed?
So access control is the card that gets you into the building. That's the easiest way to explain that.
Yeah.
Is if you've ever worked in a building, you've probably worked somewhere where you have your card to get into the building.
We have that. I have to, after hours, I need to have that card to get into the building or the weekends, and for my parking area.
Yep. That's access control.
Okay.
And that's always been. It's always been a very extremely proposition for business owners. Historically, access control has been $3,000 a door. And that's something that was.
You've got to be kidding me.
No. When you think about putting in a door strike or a mag lock, and it's expensive.
Does it? and I've seen some where once you're in the building, there's even a turnstile, not the right word, but they're, you know,
The
you got to
little gates.
scan to get, you know, access to the elevators. And that has to increase the cost even exponentially
That
more.
would be exactly, and that's in a lot of we just finished an access control job where the elevator. And I'm sure this building may even have it, where you have to have a card to get to certain floors on
Right,
the elevator.
right.
So you get in the
We do.
elevator, you want to go to floor 3, you have to hit your card. So access control technology it's been around forever, but it's always been a little out of reach for small businesses.
Okay.
And we have an access control technology that is cloud-based. So you don't have that dusty computer sitting in a phone room somewhere where somebody has to sit down and key in numbers for cards. Everything is cloud-based and web-based now for the back-end technology. So we're still installing the same mag lock, we're still installing the same reader, but now you as a business owner, you're on vacation and they say, hey, Steve just resigned. You pull out your phone and go, okay, Steve's disabled
for my phone,
now.
stop it.
Exactly. So
That's a lot easier.
You have a new employee. You add them, delete them from your phone.
Delete Adam.
Delete.
We're deleting you, Adam.
There's gone. So that and also, and this is a great technology for homeowners associations, for pools, for places like that. Historically, you have the card, so it's during the summer and your niece comes to visit you and you leave your card for her so she can get into the neighborhood pool.
Sure.
And she calls all her friends to go to the neighborhood pool.
Oh my goodness, yep.
To use your card to get in the neighborhood pool. So we now have what we call mobile credentials. So your access card is actually an app that's running in the background on your cell phone. So you don't need to worry about keeping a card anymore.
Oh,
I don't know
that's
if you've ever left home and forgot your card, or it's you leave it in the other car and
I've dealt with this. So I do have I mentioned to you before, I have a card to get into the parking lot. And I drive an electric car. I actually drive an electric car that needs to be charged all the time. So I need to charge when I come to the office. And if I take my wife's car, I grab that access card and I use it and I leave it in her car and I pull up here, I can't get in. So you're telling me that these guys need to come up with a new technology. They need to call you because I could get it on my phone?
I can help them out with that.
Stop it. Really?
So now everything, you have mobile credentials. So, instead of having to hand out cards to people, you don't have to worry about anybody leaving a card at home. You also don't have to worry about somebody just giving their card to somebody else to use to get into the site. And again, you have that full access, anytime you have your phone.
How much does a card cost?
That is, and that is another big part of it for a business owner is, if you figure this building, if there are 500 employees in here and they have to give cards to 500 employees, those cards are about $5 a piece.
$5 a piece.
About $5 a piece.
That adds up.
The little white plastic card are about $5 a piece, and that's not even counting if they have to come out here and program them for you. So so you're saving the cost on the cards. Plus, how many people a month do you think lose those things? At least a dozen. So give everybody
I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, exactly. So give everybody the mobile credentials, and that way, easy to add, easy to delete, no cards to lose, no cards to buy.
Really cool. That is so cool.
And with some really aggressive pricing that we have, exclusively with Alert 360, we actually can put a door of access control in for about $399.
Oh wow! Even that price has gone down.
It is.
You guys can do it a lot more affordably than others.
Absolutely. So if you think about the applications now, we've got a lot of people that we talk with, a lot of customers in that 85 kind of corridor there, where they have a lot of people walking in, want to use the bathroom, or just walk in and just randomly walk around their business. And people we have a great example. We have a customer that everybody's sitting in their office, and a guy is just walking around. It's an office of maybe 25, 30 people, but there's somebody walking through, and after 4 or 5 employees have seen this guy, they start kind of, messaging, inter-office messaging. Who is that?
Yeah, who's
And then
this guy?
finally,
Sure.
a manager goes, "Can I help you?" And the guy just mumbles something and runs out the door. This random person had been walking around their office for 5 minutes, so we put a door of access there. So now, got to
You
ring the
can't just
bell,
walk in.
got to get buzzed in, and think about a lot of your offices like architects or attorneys or people where a lot of times you're going to have a receptionist at the front that's essentially kind of by themselves there.
Right.
There may or may not be anybody in the back,
Right.
and you have random people walking in the front door. It's a little off-putting, a little unsettling if they're there by themselves. So if for $400 now the receptionist gets to say who comes in the
Who
front
is it?
door and
Yeah.
who doesn't, it's
That is really cool.
absolutely.
So one of the reasons, or the primary reason we're talking with you today, is because of your connection to our good friends over at the Greater Perimeter Chamber of Commerce.
Absolutely.
Tell me a little bit about them, and also when you were I was going to say a patrol guy, the Dunwoody Police Department Citizens Patrol volunteer. Tell me about those two things that you've done with our community.
Gotcha. The Greater Perimeter Chamber is fantastic. Getting to meet and work with other business owners in the northern perimeter and all over Atlanta is fantastic.
That's great.
It's a great business community. Dunwoody has such a it's such a great community that is supportive of other businesses, and the Perimeter Chamber does a fantastic job of bringing those businesses together.
So I was joking about Adam, by the way. I was speaking to Adam Ferran, the executive director of the chamber. But yes, they do good work.
He will love that. Yeah, absolutely. And I had previously done Dunwoody PD Citizens Patrol, which was very enjoyable
Cool.
because officers. There's a lot of things that happen that you don't necessarily have to have. That tie up officers' time.
Right.
A vehicle needs to be towed away. An officer can't just leave the vehicle sitting there.
Right.
If they need to shut down a street, you don't necessarily need to tie up an officer to do that. So volunteering with the Citizen Patrol with the Dunwoody PD, it was a great opportunity to serve the community and take on some of those tasks that would typically have to be done by a uniformed officer, and there's no reason to take them off the streets for things they don't need to be, that don't necessarily have to be done by them.
Yeah, that is great. So you didn't do any police chases there?
No. I stayed in my lane.
I would have
Stayed in my lane.
I probably would have been that guy, like, all right, officer, I can let me take care of that for you. Well, that is really cool. Thank you for that, for
Absolutely.
helping the community and participating with the Chamber of Commerce, a major economic driver for us here in Dunwoody. Well, I love everything you've shared. Let's make sure everybody can find you. Where can folks find out more about Alert 360 and you?
Alert360.com. Find us on the web. We're on all the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. I'm on LinkedIn.
Great.
You can find us on the web.
Perfect. Well, that's great. Well, folks, definitely check out Matt and everything that he does at Alert 360, and tell him we sent you when you go, will you? Because, he might buy me lunch if you guys refer often enough to him. And I'm always in for a free lunch, for the record. Just want you to know that.
I can make free lunch happen.
I love that. Thanks for being with us today.
Absolutely,
We appreciate
absolutely.
it. And thank you for watching. My name is Mark Galvin. I'm your host here at the Dunwoody Dialogues. Our show is produced by Discover Dunwoody. And all of you that have seen this before know Madison Holtz is our producer. She's back there hitting all the triggers, making sure we sound good and look good. So, Madison, we appreciate you more than you know. We also would like all of you to have a Dunwoody sticker. These are absolutely free. In fact, we just did a little post on social media recently. If you are using a Dunwoody sticker, go find us on Instagram or Facebook. You can share all the places you put a Dunwoody sticker, or if you want one, we have plenty. Go to City Hall, Functionize Healthcare has them, Stage Door Theater, Sproul Gallery, NFA Burger. They've all got a sticker for you, and if you still can't find them, you can come right here to Discover Dunwoody. We're just down the street real close to Perimeter Mall. We also have a great database of all the restaurants, all the hotels, all the places you can shop, all the events happening in Dunwoody. Everything there is to know about Dunwoody can be found at our website at discoverdunwoody.com. Just simply discoverdunwoody.com. You can find everything there. We have a terrific website that carries all of that great info, and our social media. Our social media is, you've guessed it, Discover Dunwoody. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. We're on X, although I think it's Visit Dunwoody on X because too many characters. But please go check out all of our social media because we're always sharing what's brand new. If a new restaurant opens in Dunwoody, we're going to be there. We're going to tell you about it. If there's a new shop opening up at Perimeter Mall or elsewhere, we're going to share that, and you can keep up on everything new happening in Dunwoody. All right, Matt, thanks again for being with us.
Absolutely.
We love the work that you're doing, and I love hearing about all the new technologies in and around security. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep us safe. We'll get more people to come to Dunwoody.
Sounds great.
And thank you for watching. Now, come discover Dunwoody.